There's a crisis of faith today. Most people are just surviving and not thriving. People go to work and feel disengaged. For every marriage, there's a divorce. The incidences of suicide and drug addiction are on the rise, and the moral boundaries of today have been eroded such that oftentimes good is interpreted as bad and right as wrong. So what's the answer? Well, for several years, my team and I studied the skills and abilities to thrive in life, and we discovered 4 foundations. The first being purpose. Purpose fuels meaning, and those who have purpose in their life tend to succeed well, and those that don't tend to wither and strive. The second foundation we found was attitude, and those who are able to change their mindset to a thriving mindset were changing narratives that were negative into common positive narratives in their life. The third foundation was connection, and connection is connection in social relationships, which is the strongest indicator of joy. And those who have strong social connections are able to be vulnerable, and they're able to connect with others to the point where the other person feels understood. But the fourth foundation we discovered was faith, and that is the most challenging of all, because how do you build faith? How do you develop faith? For me, developing faith was extreme. I died. Before that, I was more of a hoper than a believer. But I had developed what are called pulmonary emboli, that is blood clots blocking my main airway. I couldn't breathe. And on top of that, an infection had set in my body that caused sepsis, which is an infection throughout my body causing even more blood clotting. So that it was like a major traffic jam in all of the arteries, in this case, the traffic jam being the red blood cells. They were clumping together. And I went into septic shock. And I started convulsing. And everything went dark. But I never had the sense that I had actually died, even though clinically I had. The heart stopped. What happened is, at that point, I met face to face the one who is called love, 1 John 4:7 through 21. His name is Jesus Christ, and I felt him. We were cheek to cheek, face to face. For the first time in my entire life, I knew the extent of God's love. I felt it. I felt like his eyes were on me such that I was an audience of one and there was no one else in the world. Obviously that wasn't the case. He had the cares of the world on his shoulder. But that's how I felt. And his eyes tunneled into mine, exposing every dark place, so that his light exposed even the things that had caused the most suffering in my own life. And that's how I learned love as a person, not just an emotion or an action. And when I returned, and I believe I was returned for a purpose, part of that purpose, perhaps the main purpose, is here and now. To share the infinite, almost incomprehensible love of God. You see, once we understand God's love and the person of love instead of the emotion of love, we can overcome any trial, any suffering. Our brokenness can be used to actually produce joy. And that's the key to thriving in life. Because if our faith is compromised by not understanding the fullness of who God is and the purpose that is unique to you and me, we can't possibly thrive to the fullest extent. But the good news is that by understanding God's love, by understanding your own purpose, which is unique to just you and you alone, you will thrive beyond where your mind can take you. You will reach new heights. You will know without a shadow of a doubt that you can never, never, ever escape the love of Jesus Christ. And I'd like to share that with you.